What is going on, peasants? My name is JB, and we are back here today for our Week 1 Battle and Team Builder in the APA Academy. This week we are taking on Zombie, coach of the Victinis. He's a homie. Go check him as well as all the other coaches out in the description down below. So without further ado, this man has a very, very scary team. Of course he does. It's an Ubers league with a lot of coaches and a lot of points to spend. So yeah, a lot of teams are going to be really scary, but this dude especially has a very good matchup against us. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over his squad real quick. You can see he has the MARSHADOW, the Celesteela, Gliscor, Suicune, Alolan Ninetales, Latias with Z moves, Mega Tyranitar, Quillfish, Sceptile, Raichu with Z moves, Licky, and Blacephalon with Z moves. So I'm not really sure how he managed to pull off Blacephalon and Latias with Z users. Maybe Latias was exactly 15 points. I'm assuming that's what it was. It doesn't really matter because I'm gonna have to deal with it either way. It doesn't matter at all. But yeah, this team is just disgusting. Like Celesteela, Gliscor, Suicune. Like I honestly just want to vomit just looking at those three. And then you throw a Veil in on top of that. Mega T-Tar is super hard to kill sometimes. Licky keeping everything healthy, and then you just have offensive monsters like MARSHADOW and Blacephalon. Which if you guys have seen my draft analysis, that MARSHADOW thing, I kind of don't have a single switch into that thing, so that's a yikes, having to play that thing week 1, so got to be very careful around that thing, but I do think we have enough ways of hopefully dealing with it. It's going to be a really rough matchup regardless against MARSHADOW. Like it just is, because the mon is stupid. So yeah, it's just going to be a really tough game regardless of the fact that I have to deal with stupid fat as well as a mon that just kills everything on my team. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the squad that we are bringing. I want to give a shout out to the entire front office, Dorian, MOJ, Shay, Calpat, whoever else helped build the team. But shout outs to everyone. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on into the squad. First off, we have Area 51, our Mega Mewtwo Y, with the moves Side Strike, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Recover. We got max HP, a little bit of defense, a little bit of special attack, and 4 and Spadaf, and a little bit of speed. The speed is for Latias. It lives any, or basically the reason I decided to only run speed for Latias is I'm 90% sure he's going to be Scarf MARSHADOW in this game. It's his best way of dealing with Mega Mewtwo Y, otherwise it just straight up loses to Mega Mewtwo Y. If you want to be Sash, that's fine. I can just revenge it with my own Scarf or a Priority or something. I don't really think, Sash makes a lot of sense, so I really do expect to see a Choice Scarf MARSHADOW. So that's why I just didn't bother outspeeding it, because with the physical defense investment that we have as well as max HP, we are never OHKO'd by any variation of Shadow Sneak that's not adamant or boosting item. So any non-adamant boosting item, Shadow Sneak we take, and we take any Jolly non-boosting item. What's the move called? Spectral Thief. So we can live pretty much most hits, like super effective hits from MARSHADOW, again, that aren't boosting items, or in Spectral Thief's case, Adamant. So if he's like Adamant Scarf, that's a yikes. But if he's Jolly Scarf or Jolly non-speed boosting item, we can live one Spectral Thief. But other than that, this thing has fantastic coverage against this team. Focus Blast has like an 88% chance of OHKOing max HP Mega T-Tar. Side Strike just does a ton of damage to literally everything that isn't T-Tar. It's very spammable against this team. Latias isn't going to appreciate taking multiple. Then we have Thunderbolt for stuff like Suicune and Gliscor. I was debating over Ice Beam or T-Bolt, and in the end I decided that having T-Bolt to hit Celesteela and Suicune a little bit harder. I might change that to Ice Beam, because looking at it, I think hitting Gliscor and Latias would be a little bit better. We'll see. I'll let you guys know before the game, but I'm going to have to go over that with my FO before we decide to do that. Next up, we have Night King, the Kieran Black. And before you give me crap for stealing A-Drive's nickname, 1, it's a good nickname. I'm going to use a good nickname. 2, go watch my PCL Season 2 run. I've been naming Kieran's Night King since before that man ever drafted it. So I don't want to hear crap about me stealing that man's nickname. It's a good nickname. I'm going to use it, and I used it first. So don't at me. But anyway, we have Night King or Kieran Black here with Dragon Claw, Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, and Iron Head. Mostly physical set. We do have Ice Beam, of course, but the idea here is we have speed for Jolly and max speed T-Tar, just with a little bit of speed investment. We live 2 Dracos, or we live Draco into Draco from non-specs Timid Lottie. So if he's Scarf Lottie, if he's Bulky Calm Mind Lottie, if he's Z-Move Lottie, we live Draco into Draco. We should also live 1 Devastating Drake will die to the second Draco, but we should also live Devastating Drake, I believe. And we live 1 CC from Jolly non-boosting item MARSHADOW. And we 2-KO pretty much everything on his team except for Kurokun, because it's a fucking Kurokun. Of course, I don't 2-KO that. But yeah, it just has really good coverage against his team and a ridiculous offensive matchup. So we decided to stop a lot of bulk and speed for the only thing we really need speed for. And that's that. Next up, we got Hollister, our Vaporeon, rocking the leftovers. Pretty simple set with Scald, Wish, Heal Bell, and Roar. We are never 2-hit KO'd by Timid Cephalon, which is going to be our main check slash switch into, and we Oko back with Scald with 76 special attack investment, and then we just do the rest of the fit stuff. Pretty straightforward set. We have Roar to face stuff that might want to set up out, like particularly Crocune itself, Calm Mind Lottie, DD Mega T-Tar, which we might want to Scald against anyway. Potential Calm Mind Blacephalon, Tautomite Celesteela. It's Roar, man. It's there to annoy and be annoying. Next up, we got Wayward, which is a Cowpat nickname. I'm not really sure what it's meant to be a reference to. I mean, it's Wayward Sun, but Sun doesn't fit on Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure I counted right, but if it does, I might change it. But anyway, we got Mandibuzz, we got Knockoff, Defog, Roost, and U-Turn. We got max HP and a lot of Fizz Def. This is basically never 2-hit KO'd by non-boosting item Lottie. Like we're never 2-hit KO'd by Timid Lottie. We live 2 CCs from Jolly non-boosting item Marshadow, and we live a Z Thunderbolt from Timid Lottie without Rocks Up. So we can take hits relatively well. It's mainly just here to be and like a catch-all live 1 hit sort of thing. We have Defog on it, of course. We have Roost for longevity, U-Turn for slow pivoting, and we got Knockoff to get rid of items. I kind of wanted to fit Foul Play on the set, but I couldn't really find a place to fit it. I felt like Defog was sort of necessary. He has a lot. He has potential spike stacking and Quillfish, lots of rocks, of course. So couldn't really fit Foul Play on the set anywhere or anything like Toxic or something. Kind of wish I would have fit Toxic on it, not gonna lie, but you know what, it's whatever. Next up, we got Tornadus. I don't have a nickname yet by the time the game comes over. Hopefully, I'll have a nickname. But anyway, we have Citrus Berry, Acrobatics, Brick Break, Icy Wind, and Taunt. His team has a ton of taunt fodder. We're obviously rejoining Max to outspeed Latias, but he has a lot of taunt fodder on his team, a lot of slower stuff. Obviously, with Prankster, it doesn't matter if he's slower, but we are running Defiant, which is something worth mentioning. Yeah, we outspeed everything we want to taunt, like Celesteela, Gliscor, Suicune, Alola, Ninetales, which we don't stay in on Lottie. We can taunt T-Tar, Quillfish, Licky. We can taunt a lot of his team. We have Brick Break for Veil in case he does get it up, and we just want to Brick Break. It also hits T-Tar pretty hard, so double-edged sword there. We have Icy Wind to slow stuff down, like potentially Marshadow. It also hits Gliscor pretty hard, and then, like I said, Taunt. But the real tech here, it's always put in range of Citrus by Spectral Thief from Marshadow and Acrobatics Okos after that. So that's why we're running that. It's a little bit of a niche situation, but basically this thing here is just annoy stuff with Taunt, potentially slow stuff down. And it's basically like a secondary Marshadow check or bait. It's basically a Marshadow bait set. Take the Spectral Thief, get our Citrus Berry back, and then Oko with Acrobatics, since it will be faster than us in all likelihood. So that's that. And then last but certainly not least, we have Magnezone. Again, don't have a nickname, but by the time you guys are seeing the Steam of the Battle, it'll have a nickname. Anyway, we are rocking Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Hidden Power, Ice, and Volt Switch. This is another thing I'm considering changing. We originally had like a Expert Belt Magnet Rise set with Magnet Pool. I might go back to Magnet Pool with Magnet Rise. We'll see. I'm not really sure yet. But basically, we have Specs Bag. The speed is for 4-speed Gliscor, so we can do a ton of damage with that thing with HP Ice. And we originally didn't have Flash Cannon, so I just decided to go Specs Flash Cannon as a way of actually hitting T-Tar. Basically, I felt like we were kind of set up fodder for T-Tar. We had T-Wave, but I didn't really want to rely on that too much because the T-Tar can just kind of win if I let it get out of hand. We have Sturdy because hopefully he'll be baited into thinking Celesteela is trapped and not switch out, and then Sturdy will give me another check to Marshadow. This is something I'm probably going to change before the game, just to go back to Magnet Pool so I can actually get rid of Celesteela. If he's running Shed Shell, that's a less scary Celesteela for me anyway, so. But yeah, that's the stuff we're going to rock with for this Magnezone. Probably. I might change it back. I'm, again, sort of like with Kieran Black, I'm going to talk it over with the peeps just beforehand, probably tonight. So before we play, we're playing tomorrow as I'm recording this. But yeah, it'll be a whole thing. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the battle right about meow. Okie dokie, boys, so we are back here with the battle against Drew Zombie, and you can see he ended up bringing the Mega T-Tar, the Suicune, the Celesteela, the Blacephalon, the Latios, and the Marshadow. Oh, you can't see that because of the webcam. Yeah, that's what he ended up bringing. So I am post-coming this, mainly just because I'm still, like, super behind on all my recordings, which really sucks. Like, I had to, like, I went over this in a few, like, of my previous videos, but I just got super swamped in, like, a 4-day period where I had to play, like, 8 games or just something stupid. I'm exaggerating the numbers a little bit, but I had to play like 3 weeks of games for 2 different leagues in a really weird span because so many like people had gotten behind and like we were just trying to catch up. So I stopped live comming for that little period, so I got caught up, and this game was unfortunately one of those games that we are just gonna have to post-com. But anyway, you can see the squad that we went over in the team builder here, and the squad that my opponent ended up bringing. So yeah, you're gonna have to forgive me because it's been about a week since this game was played, so I'm gonna do my best to try and remember the play. So let's go ahead and get off into it. Again, be sure to go check out Zombie as well as all the other coaches down in the description below, and yeah, this should be a good time. So he's going to end up leading off with the Mega T-Tar, as I decided to go ahead and lead off with my Vaporeon. I felt like it had a relatively good catch-all defensive presence against most of his team, so that's why we went ahead and led off with that guy. Also, I apologize for no pop filter. I ordered a new one, so if you hear any, it'll be fixed by next week. So yeah, he's gonna Mega Evolve and just go. I believe he just goes for Rocks, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if I Spedcraft uninvested T-Tar on this mon or not, but apparently either I did not or it's a speed type, so he's just gonna get his Rocks up. As I'm pretty sure I just go for a Scald. You know, it's no drawback. He doesn't really have a water immunity, and you know, if you can snag a Scald Burn, it's always a good time. And as you can see, we managed to snag a Scald Burn. So shout out to Vaporeon, 1 for 1 on clicking Scald and getting burns this season. So keep that that ratio up, and we'll have a good time. Yeah. So there's a little bit of chip, and we get, you know, the leftovers just sort of mitigate the sand damage. Always gonna switch out into Mai or May or I don't know weeb names. Which is a lot easier. So I click another Scald and does, you know, just not a whole heck of a lot of damage, but some damage, and we snag another burn. So 2 Scalds, 2 burns. Good job, Lottie. 2 for 2. Hold on, let me see if I can make this bigger. I can make it bigger, but can I make it? Nope. All right. Make it wider is what I was like. I'll fix it later. It's fine. You get it. It's a new webcam position. I'll figure it out. Anyway, so I'm gonna switch out here. I don't really want to take like a potential Z move to the face, so I could just go into my boy or my homie, my girl, my Mandibuzz, as he goes for a Toxic, which is very annoying. You know, having my Mandibuzz being toxic it was one of the things that, you know, could relatively decently take a hit from Marshadow. I guess reliably would be the word I'm looking for there. So yeah, he's just gonna land at Toxic, which is very annoying. But I'm pretty sure I could just go for Defog here to get rocks off my side of the field. Don't really want to deal with those things too much, and I could just, you know, get rid of them and I'll have to deal with them, which is great. And then from there we can move forward. I could also just go for knockoff claiming an item. Again, I apologize. It's been, like I said, about a week and a half since this game was played. So yeah, just gonna go into the T-Tar, as I believe I defog. Yeah, I defog, but he goes into a stealth archer, so you can just get him right back up, which is a bit unfortunate, but I definitely don't want to stay in and take a Stone Edge here, so I probably switch on to the appropriate switch in, whatever that may be for this scenario. I should probably I could at least, you know, I could at least be semi smart about things and stuff, and have my team open on Showdown. That could be smart. So yeah, I probably just go into like zone here if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we just go. No, I go hard Mewtwo like a madman. He is burned, so I guess I can understand why past JB would want to go into Mega Mewtwo here, as he does just get his rocks back up, you know, as well as, you know, that being a pretty obvious play that he would just want to get him back up. So yeah, we can bring in Mewtwo and start doing Mewtwo things, which it always leads to a fun time when Mewtwo gets to do Mewtwo things. And Sand's gone, so this thing is 1000% just dead. So he's gonna bring in the Celesteela, which it is in fact a Celesteela, but if I can, I go for Focus Blast. I'm positive. I already remember what happens here. But if I land this, he Focus Blast into T-Bolt. It should kill pretty much any Celesteela variant. So we go for the Focus Blast, and of course, you know, we got 2 for 2 on Scaldburns. There's just no way we were clicking that Focus Blast. That Focus Blast was destined to miss from the second I even thought about clicking it. With the fact that we got 2 Scaldburns already. So yeah, there was zero chance of that Focus Blast landing ever. So we're just gonna go for a Leech Seed, which is very annoying. And Leech Seed plus Toxic is going to be racking up. And if he goes for Protect, I pretty much lose my Mandibuzz for nothing, which is I don't want to say bad because it's worse than bad. It's just pretty awful. It's awful technically worse than bad, but I just said I go for Roost on predicting said Protect if he wanted to, you know, try to get rid of my Mandibuzz that way, but he's actually just going to go straight for a Heavy Slam, which will do a good amount, but, you know, Mandibuzz being relatively thick and a Fist Death variant, it's not going to do a ton, so I can, you know, stay in, take that damage, and then I should be able to get my Defog off to keep rocks off my side of the field, because I do have Torn, which does have a little bit of a job. Torn, like I went over in the Team Builder, needs HP to be able to take on Marshadow late game, so, yeah, we got to get rid of the rocks for that to be a thing. So we definitely need to get rid of these things. So I feel like I didn't prioritize it well enough because I kind of just let my Mon go down, and now we have to deal with rocks. So that means Torn is no longer really that much of a check to the Marshadow. That's the name of that Pokemon. But we go into kill tracks here, which spoiler alert, I forgot to change back to Magnet Pull, but you can see it's not really gonna matter. He's gonna go for that, and is just gonna take just no damage. He's a Wakan Berry, and he's very Spadef, and I'm just dead. And now he just gets another Beast Boost with Celesteela, so that's all kinds of bad. See, that's why I wanted to run Magnerize. That exact scenario was why I wanted Magnerize on the set, and I took it off, and it ended up biting me. So we go to Night King here, and Night King can do Night King things. We see he is a Spadef boosting variant, so I can just fire off a Fusion Bolt, and hopefully it will kill from this range. Obviously, he's not going to let me just stand and kill the Celesteela. It's a Celesteela. Why would you ever sack it? But he can go into the Mega T-Tar and start doing Mega T-Tar things, get the sand back up. And I don't believe this thing takes this Fusion Bolt very well at all. It's coming off of Kieran Black. I apologize. I don't have my door closed and people are being annoying. But yeah, we're just going to get that damage off. I'm going to shut the door real quick. I apologize for that. I thought everyone in my house was asleep, but they clearly are not. So, yeah, we'll just get the kill there, I believe, on the next Fusion Bolt, or I probably clicked Iron Head. Whichever one I clicked, I didn't get back to my seat in time, so yeah, that's my bad. But he can bring in Bakura, which, yeah, it's in, boys. I have no choice but to let this thing go down. Nothing switches into 2 hits from Marshadow on my entire roster, so I just had to let something go down, and unfortunately that something was KB. And you can see he ended up bringing Life Orb, which I thought there was no chance he would bring Life Orb, because I could just outspeed it and kill it with Mega Mewtwo, because I had the bulk to live the Shadow Sneak. But yeah, he brought the Life Orb. So not only do I just die, I just double die, and I look stupid for not outspeeding it. So yeah, that was a risk that did not pay off in prep. So I go for Acrobatics, you know, just to try to catch it on the switch. He goes in hard into the this thing and the Celesteela, and it takes 0 for the Acrobatics, because of course we still have our item, and also it's a Celesteela, so it's obviously not going to take anything from it. But we can get off a taunt, preventing from leech seeding or doing any other annoying shenanigans other than attacking. So I can bring in Hollister, knowing he probably doesn't have like grass coverage to hit this thing. It seems like a pretty safe switch in. We've already seen Heavy Slam, and yeah, we could just go into that as he doubles into the Lottie, which is a solid play in and of itself, allowing him to just click another free Toxic. It's free real estate, boys. He's just free to click Toxic here. Did I have Hillbell on the Vaporeon? I did have Hillbell on the Vaporeon, so it's not the end of the world if I get Toxic. So yeah, he's I'm actually going to double not wanting to get Toxic and bring back in Supercell, which is of course the Torn. And unfortunately, I do not quite. I know I do get my berry here, so that's cool. So now my Acrobatics is actually going to be doing damage. I'm so low that I die to Life Orb Shadow Sneak for this range, which is just stupid. We managed to avoid a Toxic, which is lit. That's just great. But yeah, it's just fucking Marshadow, dude. It's so strong. It just kills, man. Like there's like I'm max HP and I have to run speed for the Lottie. Otherwise, there's no point in even having the attack for it. But yeah, yeah, I just die. But I can go into Mega Mewtwo here as he doubles into the this ends up being the Suicune, so that's a pretty solid switch on my behalf. As yeah, I guess I'm not recording because okay, so we avoid the Toxic. I think we're pretty much back where we left off. I apologize for the jump cut. You know, living with people is lovely. So I decided to double out of the Supercell into the Mega Mewtwo on the Lottie, and yeah, this is where we were, so sweet. He's going to switch out as well into the Mako, which ends up being the Suicune. So this is a pretty good matchup for me, as I can pretty freely just get a hit off on something with, you know, a Mega Mewtwo and get off big fat damage. So we can go for T-Bolt, which will 2-hit KO. Just, standard Fist F Crocune, and you can see that does a ton of damage. He goes for Toxic and lands it, which really sucks because that Toxic damage is going to for sure just keep me in range of Marshadow, Shadow Sneak, no matter what I do. Like, I can still live one, but no matter what I do, like this Toxic damage after a couple turns and recovering and whatnot, I'm always going to be in range. So I can't really stay in and have it rack up anymore. So I kind of have to switch out. I don't really want to, but I'm kind of forced to, as I don't really have much else. I also have Heal Bell on this, which will help. So I can Heal Bell and potentially keep myself out of range of said Shadow Sneak. So that's all the whole game plan is at this point. It's just hoping that Mega Mewtwo can live a Shadow Sneak from life, or Marshadow. It's going to depend on like his role or his nature, obviously. So but I just need to give myself a chance, which means I have to Heal Bell and lose momentum and take just unnecessary damage on Vaporeon and whatnot. But hey, I mean, if it means not losing the game, I'd rather not lose the game. So we're gonna get the old Heal Bell off, which is nice, and I believe he sees this as like a losing battle, like a losing 1v1, and switches out if I'm not mistaken, or I go for Aurora. One of the two happens. So yeah, he goes for sub, as I do end up roaring this thing out. I remember this play now. So yeah, he's gonna roar. We're just gonna roar this thing on out. Like I'm not letting you get behind a sub. No way, no how. So that's just not happening. We get the Celesteela in, which it could be worse. We could have got worse things in. We could have got the Marshadow in, and he could have just killed something. But thankfully, that's not the Marshadow. So I can just fire off another Scald, and as he goes for a Leech Seed, which it's fine. It's whatever. I don't really care too much about getting Leech Seed because I'm not going to stay in long enough for it to matter. So we click another Scald, and wouldn't you know it, Vaporeon snag. Oh, nope, not yet. Spoiler alert, not yet. So yeah, Vaporeon just gonna get a Scald there, which actually does a decent amount of damage. And if he doesn't have like a move that actually, besides Heavy Slam to hit this, I'm pretty sure I can just win that 1v1 eventually. But he goes back into the Lottie, which I do double out on and probably go into Area 51. Hey, look at me going into Area 51. Remember Area 51 memes? When I played this game and when I made that nickname, that meme was still relevant. That's what happened. That's what can happen in like a week of meme culture. Like Area 51 memes are no longer funny. Feels bad, man. But yeah, he's gonna. We're just gonna switch back on to the Torn, and I need to bring something up real quick. So pull something up. All right. So. Okay. I'll explain the things and the stuff afterwards. So yeah, we're gonna get Torn back in here against the Suicune as he goes for a Protect just to get a little bit of HP back. I decided to go for Acrobatics to try to weaken it. It was potentially in range, so I just wanted to pick the thing off. Man, I'm just all over the place. But like I remembered I had like some really important post-game notes I want to talk about, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't have those up, and I'm like, I need to get those up as nothing was going on. But yeah, the leftovers recovery will for sure get him out of range of dying to that Acro. And he's just going to go for Scald. Thankfully, we don't get burned, so we can still be able to get rid of this thing. And yeah, go for the Acro, and it will finish off the Suicune. So that's really nice not having to do a Suicune. He knew it was always 2-hit KO by Mewtwo, so there's no real reason for him to keep it around. And with me having Heal Bell on the other guy, the Mewtwo, or Vaporeon, there was no real point for him keeping it around. But he brings in the Marshadow, hitting click Shadow Sneak, and my Mon will die. My Tornadus will die. And I kind of just have to go into Mewtwo and hope at this point. Or not, go into Hollister first. So we go into Vaporeon first. And you see those rocks? He goes for a CC, which I wanted to force him into so like I can guarantee kill it afterwards. So he actually gets a Spadef drop, and wouldn't you know it, loses Life Orb HP. There's the Scald with the -1. That thing takes the burn, sweet Vaporeon getting a third burn of the game. So Vaporeon, real MVP type stuff here. Barely missing out on KOing the Marshadow. Had that Marshadow gone down right then and there, like just a tiny bit more chip or whatever, like a little bit higher of a roll on Scald. Had the Marshadow gone down there, I think we win this game because the Marshadow drops, and now I can just bring in the Mewtwo, as he has the Blacephalon in for free. Gets the Blacephalon in. And with the Rocks damage, if I was at full HP, if Rocks were not up, I live this Shadow Ball. I live a Shadow Ball from full. If he's Scarf, which he obviously is, Scarf with Cephalon. If the rocks aren't up, I live that, and we know Latios is not Scarf. We know Latios is leftovers. I can recover up on that, and forget what else he had. He had Celesteela, I believe, is alive as well. That just drops to a T-Bolt at that point. Like, I definitely think we win that game if rocks aren't up. And the crazy thing is, we lost a speed tie versus Manabuzz versus Celesteela because he was running 156 speed on Celi, which allowed it to outspeed uninvested Manabuzz. But I was running only 4 speed on Manabuzz. So if I was running 12 speed Mandy, we get that defog off, and maybe this is a completely different game. But as it stands, we take a very narrow L, man. Like I said, if Mewtwo was at full, it lived the Scarf Shadow Ball, and that's just super unfortunate, especially with Marshadow dead. So yeah, Vaporeon really coming in clutch. They're picking up just a ton of burns on Scald, so I can't really be too upset about it. It is what it is. So yeah, GG to Zombie, of course. Be sure to go check him out, as well as all the other coaches in the description down below. And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in next week where we take on the homie Matt O'Shea. It should be a fun one, and I'll see you all then. Peace out.